What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to the new year. Happy New Year to all of you. This is going to be a pick a pile so we can see what is really important for you to know about this next cycle. This is going to be an energy about what you are maybe going to start moving through or what you are being called to do this year, okay? So this is going to be pile number 1. This will be pile number 2, and this will be pile number 3. If you check in the description box, you will see that there are timestamps also, and I'm gonna add some emojis. So whatever you feel most drawn to, if it's more than one pile, that's fine. You can pick 2 or 3, whatever. But I would suggest just following your instinct and picking whichever feels most attractive for you. So let's see what messages we have. This is pile number 1, this middle one is 2, and this last one here is 3, okay? So we are going to start with pile number 1. All right. First card, I love this. You have the World. Okay, so this is all about completion and starting a fresh cycle. So this is perfect for the new year. I feel like a lot of you will be called to level up this year because you need to start moving through your life in a different way. I feel like maybe last year or maybe the last few years have been a lot of struggle or a lot of maybe challenges or difficult learning, but it wasn't for nothing, quote unquote. Like everything that you've been learning up until now was really intentional for you to apply to this next cycle. So I feel like a lot of you could be becoming leaders of some kind, or you could be starting a new business or leveling up. Maybe you're getting a promotion or you're applying for a new job. And I just feel like there's an overall energy here of like taking control of your future. Now, there's a lot of things that we can't control. The world, the people around us, we can't control the outcomes to a lot of things, but we can control our emotions. We can control how we react and respond to the world around us. And I feel like that is what is really important for you this next cycle. It's like you've been trying to figure out, I'm also hearing better boundaries, better structures, better habits and routines, like things like that that are gonna really help support your next cycle and your next level of growth. I feel like there's been a lot of, again, difficult learning or just challenges that you've been dealing with. But now when you spot similar challenges, you're gonna know how to go through them easier. I also feel like I'm hearing breaking ancestral traumas or breaking ancestral like responses. So for example, if maybe you grew up in a family and their sort of natural response was anger or to scream or to freak out, or maybe, an unexpected bill arrives and it's like, shit, your immediate response is like scarcity and where's the money gonna come from? And it's not, like your response should be connected to trust and knowing that you have abundance and you have access and you will be taken care of and the universe is here to support you and you can work with the universe to bring in, the resources or whatever you need to make sure that you can not only survive, but thrive. And I feel like there's this overall energy now where you've been through a lot of learning and that learning has taught you that like you have more access than what you have been like led to believe. And I feel like whatever those sort of limiting beliefs are, now we're kind of making our way through them, or you've already been working through them. And now you get to see what happens with this new version of yourself. This is literally like the world is your oyster. So I feel like there's this overall opportunity for you to just level up in a new way and to start seeing life from a different perspective. This is my new cat, by the way. He just came onto my lap. His name's Loki. Hello, Mordino. So what I like about this card is that there's fixed energy here, okay? So that's Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and who's the earth sign? Not Capricorn. No, we said Taurus. Oh, there's one more. Sorry, I'm having like a blank right now. Leo, sorry. So the other one is Leo. And those 4 signs, they really teach us how to become more loyal and committed to our goals and our visions. And when we can commit to these new visions, these new goals, these new ideas that we want to go after, then how do we get there? Well, we need to change our behavior. We need to change our response. So I feel like for this group, there's a lot of emphasis here on understanding you can create the life you want, but it only comes when you decide to choose how you respond to the world around you and you stop letting your emotions or your innate sort of natural reactions take over. So for example, again, if you grew up in a family and maybe their typical response was anger or annoyance, or they didn't want to hear what you had to say, so you sort of shut off your voice or whatever. It's like, if that was your natural response up until now, or maybe it's over explaining, or maybe it's self-sacrificing and like adjusting yourself for other people to make them happy, but you're not happy, or whatever it is, like those old ways of doing things, those old ways of adjusting ourselves, those old ways of responding and connecting with the world around us, we're done with that because we've learned everything we can from that lesson. We've hit a ceiling. So now it's an opportunity for us to be like, okay, I've hit this ceiling. I understand now that that doesn't really work for me, or maybe it benefits me in these ways, but it doesn't benefit me in these ways. And like now we can really like weigh things out and like balance everything and figure out how we want to move forward with letting go of that old way of doing things, letting go of these old limitations, letting go of these old programs in our mind, and now deciding how we want to co-create with the world around us. And that means new boundaries, new limitations, new perspectives. So whatever old perspectives you've been stuck with for a long time, and maybe that's trauma-based, maybe that's scarcity, maybe that's about your self-worth, self-value, or whatever. Maybe it's just how you handle your emotions or how you emotionally respond to the world around you. Whatever has been coming up for you for a while now, you're gonna notice that it's like starting to fade, and you're really noticing an opportunity to shift how you respond. When you decide to respond differently, your behavior will be different. Your energy, your vibration will radiate differently, which means you will attract different results, and you will start to see that your world begins to change even more so. So now I feel like you're really understanding that. It's like kind of like this magician energy where you have an opportunity to like create with the universe around you in a new way, and I'm really excited about that. Okay, so let's see what the other two cards are. This one I have resourcefulness. Resourcefulness, and this is a Sun in Cancer card, okay? So some of you could have Cancer strong in your chart. I feel like a lot of you are maybe, again, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius. Or maybe you're dealing with, or maybe you've been learning from that sign or dealing with that sign for a long time. Now you have an opportunity to either change your relationship with that person or let them go, clear them entirely, and you get to start again, which is beautiful. I feel like a lot of this, so some people here are definitely like you're moving from home or you're changing your apartments or something like that. It's just, maybe it's a new country. I feel like there's this total completion and a cutoff. For some of you, I'm also hearing you're either gonna get separated or you're getting a divorce because you feel like you're really ready to follow your gut in a new way. There's a Mel coming through really strong. So time to let go is literally the other card. I love that. So we have time to let go. And this is a number 31. Your card called resourcefulness is a number 4. So you have a 4 and the 31 equals a 4. Okay, so 4 and 4, this equals an 8. 2024 is also an 8. This is I'm not gonna talk too much about the 8 because in my in my 2024 tarot forecast, I talk about the number 8 that we are working with all year. And it's, in a nutshell, it's about being divinely connected, as above, so below. So the soul path that is meant for us and all of the people on our soul path that are here to support us, our lovers, our friends, our business connections, etc. Like all of these things, we can only find them when we are taking action that is connected to our soul path. So we really need to follow our heart this year. And I feel like this group with the number 4, you're really connecting deeper with your heart. You're connecting deeper with what makes you feel protected and what makes you feel safe and valuable. The number 4, again, is connected to Cancer in modern day astrology. So this is an opportunity for us to really rethink what it means for us to feel safe in relationships. What do we need from our connections to feel safe and protected and valued? And that means like, we need to know that we can talk openly and we can be heard and understood, and that people will, extend compassion to us, and that we can live in peace and balance and harmony. And like, if you're noticing that some of your jobs or some old connections or old people are negatively influencing your foundations and your structures, well, this is an opportunity for us to stop investing into those connections. And this groundhog spirit is saying like, it's time to let go. And it's time to let go because we have a lot of resources available to us. That's what this is saying, this card of resourcefulness. We have a lot of opportunities ahead of us, but we can't accept some of those invitations if we are still preoccupied with these old negative influences or these old toxic cycles or old toxic connections or people or projects or workspaces or whatever, relationships, people, friends, family, lovers, it doesn't matter. But like, we can't continue to invest into these things if we know they're not really benefiting us. And that's what this World card is also talking about. Like, this is saying you really need to accept and acknowledge that some people, projects, things have come to completion and it's time to let them go. And that's beautiful because that makes more available space for all of the good shit that's trying to come into your life, but you don't have available space to accept it because you're so drained and distracted and exhausted dealing with these other things. So like, you're really not being fair to yourself if you continue to stay in these old connections that don't really work for you anyways. So it's like, you're really being asked to rethink what is important in your life and to see where you want to go and to see if the current environment, if the current connections, if the current workplace, do they allow you to expand in the ways you want to expand? Because this year, there is tons of expansion. We also have Jupiter moving into Gemini very soon, which is going to like speed things up a lot, and it's going to bring a lot of opportunity and expansion, new ideas, perspectives, new invitations, etc. It's gonna be a very busy, exciting, expansive opportunity. But we can't do that when we continue to stay stuck in old connections and situations that don't really benefit us. So if this is making sense and you want more support, I would strongly suggest that you watch the 2024 Tarot Forecast. This is a super long reading. It has timestamps so you can jump really easily, but I dive into every month, the year ahead, the numerology, oracle cards, and we dive into a deeper reading for your sun sign, your moon, rising, your Mars, Venus, all of your placements. It's like 13 hours of information you can jump through. You don't need to watch it all at once, of course, but it's an amazing resource. So if you're interested, if this reading was helpful, I strongly suggest that you watch your tarot forecast. I will leave the link below. We also have the astrology calendar now ready, or you can get them both as a bundle. All the information is below. So I'm here to support you. I hope that helps. I love you, pal number 1. I'll see you very soon. Ciao. Okay. Let me just write down some of this. Pile number 2. Okay. What's up, pile number 2? Welcome. Sorry, give me 1 second. Just spilt my tea. Okay, welcome to your 2024 pick a pile. Let's see what energies you are working with. So your first card, okay, I have the Emperor reversed. This is the Emperor reverse. I feel like a lot of you need to learn how to just let go of your idea of control. I feel like a lot of you are also being asked to pause and to take a break. I feel like maybe the last couple years or months have just been so busy. A lot of doing, a lot of going after things, a lot of maybe delegating or dictating or leading or teaching or building or trying to expand, trying to learn, trying to do so many things at the same time. And now I feel like overall this year, you're actually being called to rest a little bit more. Now, I don't mean that you won't be working hard. I don't mean that you won't be doing things or getting things done. But I feel like now you are understanding there's a different way of working. So maybe I'm also hearing a different way of responding. Not everyone needs your response. Not everything needs your response. Not every situation needs your feedback or your input. It's like, and maybe up until now, I feel like this group, you do a lot of good things. Like you have a lot of skills. You're probably really, really smart. Really intuitive. Maybe there's a little bit of like an ego that is just sort of there, and it's an experience of like, ugh, like the people around me are so fucking annoying because they don't know how to do anything. And it's just like, so let them fuck it up. Let them figure it out. Let them, like this new concept from, I think her name is Mel. She's like a speaker. I'll try to find it and like share it on my Instagram or something like that. But like, she introduced me to this new concept called let them. And this is what I think would be really important for you and this group, because the idea behind let them is that like, you can't control people. You can't continue to try to interfere and take over because you know how to do something better than them. It doesn't matter. Or if you have a better plan, if you have a better advice, if you have better feedback, it's like, you don't need to solve every issue for everyone. And I feel like this group, maybe for the last couple years or months, weeks, whatever, you've just been feeling a little bit frustrated. It's like there's less joy in your life because you're taking everything so seriously, because you're noticing that other people don't know how to do something as good as you. Like you're so much better than them at a lot of things probably. And that's fine, but that can add to like an unhealthy ego. And like, trust me, I literally struggle with this myself because like I have a lot of talents. I'm really smart. I'm like fast. And it's like, I'm a very clear communicator, like whatever. And when I'm dealing with other people that I feel are not quote unquote on that level, I feel like I have to slow down. I have to adjust myself. It's like, can't anyone here fucking keep up? What the fuck? Come on. But it's like, that's actually causing more stress and annoyance and negativity in my own life because I'm trying to figure out why everyone is so fucking dumb sometimes, you know? And it's just like, it's like the world around you. It's like you don't fit in the world around you. And that's because you are probably here to help, like me, reestablish a new world, reinvent a new cycle with all of these people and try to show them a better way of doing things. And not always like physical things that they're doing, but just like an overall better way of living more peacefully, more flexibility, with an open mind, understanding we don't all need to be like, you know, brainwashed by society or religion or all these things, and that those are actually traps and you're keeping yourself limited. And it's like, because we have other information, because we have other access, because we want to, okay, this is what I'm experiencing with this group. Okay, so there's three things actually. So the first part is that you and me, we were the same as all of these people for a long time. Okay, that's just like society. That's growing up and not necessarily realizing that we are like brainwashed and we're in this like system of whatever. And like, don't get triggered by the word brainwash. I just mean it's like, we don't realize that we have all these skills and internal intuition and strength and power and all these things, whatever, right? So my point is, we were stuck in that same system for a long time. And then the second thing happened and we broke free. and we started to like heal a little bit, and we started to like see alternate perspectives, and we started to connect to God and the universe and our power and all these things. And then we started leveling up, we started expanding, we started having fun. It was exciting. We were like, wow, this is amazing. And then we kind of like live in that vibration. And I feel like this group has been living in that vibration of like, wow, I'm doing good, things are moving. But then we kind of slip into this third chunk. And this third chunk is where it's like, now I'm just fucking annoyed that other people can't keep up. Now I'm just fucking annoyed that other people don't live like this. It's like you seeing other people in their stuck programs, in their limitations, in their frustrations, their toxic cycles. They don't want the help. They don't know what to do. They're not taking your advice. They're not learning fast enough or properly or whatever. Doesn't fucking matter. That is not your circus. They are not your monkeys. You don't need to fix them. They didn't ask for help. If they ask for help and they don't follow your help, then establish a boundary and stop helping people. Like, there's this overall energy where it's like, we were the same and then we figured out how to like break free from that, and then it was exciting. And now it's just frustrating that other people aren't doing the same thing. It's like, because some people, they want to stay stuck, and that's fine. That's up to them. But my point is, I feel like this group, there's this overall energy of like, we just need to stop. We need to stop investing into other people's stories and trying to help them or convince them or fix them or teach them or whatever. It's just like, let them figure it out themselves. With this Emperor reverse, I feel like there's an overall energy here of just like, give it up. Let it go, disconnect, and start learning how to use all of that energy that you're using while you're focusing on other people, while you're judging other people, while you're expecting other people to show up in a better way. It's like, stop. Go learn a new language. Go take a kickboxing class. Like, go rock climbing, go horseback riding, go painting, like, go do something different. And what's really interesting about this mix is that there's also an energy here of like, because you've been on this healing journey for so long, you're like maybe a little bit addicted to the healing, or you're addicted to trying to figure out what next needs to be fixed or what next needs to be changed. And that also comes back to control, because you're trying to control everything. You're trying to control all of the parts of yourself that you still maybe don't like, or that you want to adjust, that you want to improve. And it's like, that's fine, because yes, I think we're always, available for improvement. And I think that we're always, like, you wanting to heal yourself is a beautiful thing, but you don't need to continue this cycle of like always healing and taking everything so serious and judging other people. And you're driving and someone's just like slowing down and you're like, there's no one in front of you. What the fuck are you doing? Why are you slowing down? And it's like, you're getting angry at like dumb shit just because you're starting to feel, maybe it's a little bit of this like superiority. And that superiority comes from feeling like, how am I so good at so many things? How am I on this fucking journey? I'm like growing, I'm expanding, I'm doing all these things, I'm checking all these boxes, and other people aren't. And that makes me really frustrated because I feel like I'm the only one doing it. And then there's a little bit of like, I'm actually really kind of annoyed that these people aren't doing it because they're all living in so much joy and just like ignorance. And like, I'm sitting here watching the world literally burn and fall apart, and like, you know what I mean? It's just like, so then what do? Then we get angry. And it's like, this is literally the card connected to Aries. And the North Node is in Aries. And this is an opportunity for us to reinvent ourselves in new ways. I have a nodes workshop. If you haven't watched it, you should. It's on my website. I'll try to tag it below in the description box. Like, we're working with this energy for a full year, okay? So like, this Emperor is saying, if you think about Aries individuals, they're connected to Mars. Mars is anger, aggression, impulse. So a lot of you need to this year focus on how to readjust your impulses. And maybe when you're driving and another person, they cut you off, maybe your impulse is, fuck you, and you want to freak out, or you just want to start complaining about how stupid the world is and how everyone's fucking dumb and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, it's such a waste of energy. It's such a waste of energy. It's it's not good for you. It's not good for your mood, for your emotions, for your mental health, your physical health. It's very activating, and it, like, for what? Like, for what? So that you can let that person just like fuck up your peace? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So I feel like, oh my God, the card empathy comes out. Okay. Okay, so this is the moon in Pisces. So some of you could be dealing with a Pisces or an Aries individual. It doesn't matter. But this card, empathy, I feel like when we are experiencing other people and we're trying to remain patient and calm and sweet and kind, and we don't want to switch into judgment and how do you not know this and like whatever. It's really important for us to just remind ourselves, like, we were also there once in the past, you know? It's like, we don't need to judge these people. I also feel like, imagine okay, let's do this for a second, pause. You don't need to dive into it. I'm not trying to trigger you or traumatize you again or anything like that. But I want you to just, for 1 second, just bring to mind the worst day of your life. What was that day? Just like, you don't need to dive in and feel it. Like, I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm just, my point is, what was the worst day of your life? If you could pick one, or a really bad day or whatever. Okay, so that's this. Okay, so here it is. We've got that bad day. Imagine on that day, you were out trying to survive. Because that day, you're not feeling like you're thriving and expanding. You're feeling like you are in survival mode, which means you're probably triggered, upset, sad, scared, in scarcity. Like, there's all of these things, right? You're in like fight or flight mode. So it's like, when you're in survival mode, you're not thinking clearly. When you're not thinking clearly, you're moving through life. It's messy, it's annoying, it's hard, it's frustrating. It's all of these ugly things, right? So you're like, imagine that every person you met that day judged you and looked at you, how you look at these other people who you sometimes feel are way behind or are not on time or they're not doing something right or they're not there. It's like, let's just clear all of that. Imagine that every person who you are getting frustrated with, imagine that it is their worst day ever. And they're just trying to survive. They're just trying to make it through that day because they had an awful day. Maybe they experienced something absolutely terrible and we don't know that. And maybe they're not paying attention when they cut you off. And maybe we just need to feel a little bit more empathy for our fellow humans. It's also like, not to get into like doomsday, but it's like, it's 2024, y'all. Like, last year was fucking crazy. This year, I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna get crazier. Things are gonna get louder because people are not waking up enough. They're not paying attention enough. And that's why things continue to get louder. It's called high drama. And like, that high drama will continue to increase. And it's like, all of these people who, imagine also, they don't have a soul connection like you. They don't have deep spiritual path. They don't have trust in the plan, trust in the universe, trust in themselves. They are lost and scared, and they are feeling scarcity, and they are feeling all of these negative, scary emotions. And yes, I'm sure you also feel them too sometimes. So do I. But like, we know how to navigate it. We know how to get through that. We know how to take on different resources that help us alleviate that stress. A lot of these people, they don't have that. So like, what we need to start doing is just thinking that everyone is a brother or a sister, because they actually are. We need to stop judging. We need to stop lashing out. We need to stop getting angry. And we need to just start thinking like, maybe this is that person's worst day of their life. And what can I do to support that person? Or what can I do to at least allow that person some flexibility today? It's like, you cut me off, okay, fine. I'm gonna give you benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna say it's fine. I bet you had a bad day. Just go on and whatever. Like, the Lord, the universe, karma will sort them out, okay? Trust me on that, bitch. Karma will, pay them back. I promise you that. So it's like, you don't need to freak out. You don't need to control this situation. You don't need to teach them something. It's like, let it go. And I think that when you start to do that, you're gonna notice that you have less stress. You have less headache, maybe physically. Maybe your body also is just getting frustrated and tired with all of the constant activation, the ups and the downs and the ups and the downs. And it's like, also maybe some of you are literally addicted to the chemicals in the body that are released when you go through that anger or that stress or that fear or whatever. So it's like, this is an opportunity for us this year to really disconnect from that, to stop trying to control the world around us, to stop, also, this is the Emperor, okay? And the Emperor is reversed. So if you continue to put yourself up on this Emperor stool, if you continue to lead by ego, if you continue to judge harshly, and maybe some of you just sometimes are just straight up mean, it's like, and I'm not saying that you need to beat yourself up. I'm not saying that you need to feel bad about whatever you've done in the past. It doesn't matter. All of that was for learning. Now moving forward, we really need to find more softness. We really need to find more compassion. We really need to find more empathy. We really need to be more flexible and stop trying to interfere or take over or, teach or fix. And I have overcome any obstacle. I love that. So we have the rhino spirits. You can look that up and see if something about the rhino spirit is helpful for you. But I feel like a lot of us, there's two things that are coming up here. One of them says, overcome any obstacle. And I feel like that's a beautiful thing because a lot of these external moments are triggering internal obstacles. So if you, for example, again, get cut off on the highway, that's an external experience. You get cut off, but what that's doing is establishing an internal obstacle where you are now feeling angry and triggered and judgmental, and why the fuck don't any of these people have any fucking respect? And that's where my mind, I automatically always respond like that, always. It's like, I am so fucking thoughtful and so kind and respectful to people in the world around me, and what the fuck? I'm just living with all these fucking assholes who just cut me off and no one cares. They slam the brakes, or someone spits on my car, or someone does this, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I didn't do anything. What the fuck is this about? And they're actually just teaching me that whatever is happening externally, let them do whatever they feel they need to do, because karma will get them, okay? Karma will come back. And the same way, if we can start giving compassion and empathy and love and forgiveness, that is our karma that will come back. And we will get more flexibility and compassion and love and empathy and things like that. So it's this is a really beautiful lesson. And when those external experiences happen and we get angry, that's the internal obstacle that we establish for ourselves. And we need to learn how to overcome that by just saying, I forgive you, I'm moving forward, and that's it, or something like that. You know what I mean? So again, this is so much easier said than done. I get it. And I've been actually just feeling into this energy for the last 3-4 weeks now. And I'm talking about it with my therapist and just setting new intentions to make sure that I'm just less reactive, less angry at the world around me, because honestly, there's a lot to be angry about. And that's not just, people cutting us off. That's fucking wars and genocides and all this crazy shit happening right now. So I get it. It's yes, a lot of us are holding a lot of anger, and I feel like I just signed up for kickboxing, so maybe you also need to sign up for a new class or something where you can move that energy in a better, healthier way, because it's not good for you, it's not good for me, it's not good for anybody to hold all of that anger inside, you know what I mean? So I think this year is all about like learning how to be more empathetic, flexible, forgiving, releasing control, and allowing this new identity to emerge where you're just, it's just easier. Life is just easier when you don't freak out and you just let them do whatever they need to do, you know? So I hope that helps. If this was connecting with you and you were feeling like this was accurate, then that's good. Thank you. I'm happy to help. I want to suggest that you watch your 2024 tarot forecast. I do a forecast for the year ahead for your sun, moon, rising sign, all of your natal chart placements, actually. So your Venus, your Mars, everything. And there's a monthly overview, a yearly overview. We talk about the numerology, oracle cards, everything. It's time-stamped, but it's like a 10 or 11 hour reading. It's amazing. There's so much in-depth information in there. That was like our best selling resource last year. So if you're interested, I'll add the link below. We also have the astrology calendar, and you can download the bundle of both if you want. You'll see it all below. I love you. I'll see you very soon. Ciao. Okay, here. Pile number 3. All right, let's do pile number 3. What's up, pile number 3? This is your reading for 2024. Let's see what overall energies you will be working with for this next cycle. Your first card I have is the King of Wands. I like this. This is related to you standing in your power in new ways. I feel like there's a lot of new opportunities coming for you. I feel like a lot of you are now maybe stepping into a position of more power, influence, leadership, a higher role, a higher level responsibility. Maybe it's in the workplace. Maybe it's also for some of you, you're becoming a parent, a father, or like it doesn't need to be a masculine energy, but I feel like there's an overall energy here of becoming more protective, more stable, and in control of your environment and in control of your experience, but not in a way where you're trying to control everything, but there's like internal peace and knowing that you are like fully supported by the universe, and also just a deep trust in this process. I feel like things this year will get louder, and that's because a lot of us are being required to wake up and to see things differently, and like our old ways of being, our old paradigms, like they need to change. And this King of Wands, I feel like it doesn't matter if there's chaos, happening around you. Like this person feels very sort of strong and stable. And I think that's beautiful, because this King of Wands is an opportunity for you to, maybe some of you are really focusing on your foundations and your structures, your habits and your routines. So maybe there's a daily practice that you want to implement. I also feel like more creative expression, painting, dancing, moving, music. Some of you could be working on some big projects that will be really big worldwide, actually, or you're going to be getting a lot of international attention for some reason. I also feel like there's just this overall new knowledge that is coming through. Maybe some of you will be stepping into a teaching role, or again, a leadership role. Or if you're already in that role, then it's just going to be expanding. I'm feeling like more eyes on you, like people watching and wanting to know what you're doing, wanting to know what you're talking about or whatever. They want to learn from you. It doesn't always need to be like this big, it doesn't always need to be this big platform with 1 million, 2 million people watching. Like, no, it could be Just in a workplace, for example, maybe you just start to lead a team in a different way, or other people are really starting to respect your opinion or your ideas or your perspectives in new ways. I feel like there's a lot of you will be getting access to a higher level of knowledge, a higher level of participants, if that makes sense. So maybe you've been, it's like the people that you will be connecting with have strong influence, have strong wisdom, have a lot of information that is really helpful for you, and your information is helpful for them, and there's a nice exchange. And I feel like there's this overall system and structure that is now being established, and that established foundation that you will be sort of building this year is going to be supported by a lot of other people who think like you, but in a higher perspective, in a higher level. So if you've been noticing that maybe you've been feeling isolated or alone, or maybe you've been sort of like, where are my people? Like, why do I feel like, I want to expand. I want to collaborate with the right people. I want to connect with the right people. I want people who are quote unquote on my level. And I feel like I haven't really been finding other people who are on my level. And I don't mean that from like an ego perspective. I mean that from like, you're really aware of your skills and what you have to offer. And maybe up until now, other people have not really been capable of supporting you. And now I feel like you're going to be meeting other people who are actually capable of supporting you. And that's going to help you expand in so many new ways. This can also just be like a therapist. This could be a coach. This can be a boss, a collaborator, new projects, whatever. So I like this. I also feel like there's a lot of new doors that will be opening for you. Some of you maybe are planning travel. There could be some challenges with travel for whatever reason, but I feel like there's this overall new identity that's emerging, and you're not so scared to like share your voice. It's like you are going to be standing in your power in new ways, or you're being asked to stand in your power in new ways and to use your voice for really speaking up about what you want for yourself, about what you want to happen. Like this can also be in relationships. This can be in your relationships, friends, love, family, whatever. It's just like there's this overall, this is my new kitty. Oh, okay, 1 second. Isn't he so cute? Hola, gatino. There's this overall like energy. Oh, amor. We're working here, babes. We're working here, amorcito lindo. Let me see your other cards here. Yeah, I have convention reversed. So convention reversed. So I feel like, first of all, some of you could be moving to a new country or a new apartment, a new home, or something about your, maybe your lease, or what's the sign for it? Your lease? Maybe your landlord wants to break it, or there's a last minute change to your home or something like that, which is, it's fine. But I feel like there's this overall energy of needing to break free from these old cycles, these old structures, these old people. And we just talked about like, you're going to be finding new connections, new people who are on a different level. And that new level is going to help you expand. So when you begin to expand your knowledge, your perspective, your connections and your commitments and your communities and everything like that, it means I'm also hearing your food, like how you eat, what you eat, when you eat, a lot of like water. So maybe some of you are thinking about going more sober, or stopping with so much coffee or things that activate your system. So maybe spicy foods, or you're interested in, I feel like some of you really need to sort of dive into like Ayurvedic systems so that you can understand what kinds of foods are really activating for your nervous system, because this group has a lot of people who are interested in trying to like re-regulate your nervous system in a way that makes you possible to respond to the world around you with less like intensity, so that you can remain calm, so that you can remain more grounded. So I like that. But this overall energy of convention reverse. I feel like maybe people have expected something from you now because you've always drank and now you don't want to drink, and other people are expecting you to continue to drink and you're like, I'm not doing that. So whatever your traditions, whatever your habits, whatever your typical cycles are, like you are now breaking those and moving through a new chapter, and you're moving into a new space, and you're moving into a new way of being. And that means that these old conventions and limitations that other people project onto you is like, it's time for you to break them and to let them go, because I feel like you're sort of setting yourself free in a new way, and I like that. I have the grasshopper card. Okay, so this is the grasshopper card. So you can look up the grasshopper and you can see if that spirit animal maybe resonates with you deeper. But this is saying, take a leap of faith. And I feel like for this group, it's really important that you trust yourself this year. Like if you want to stop doing something, if you want to start doing something, if you want to try something new and other people, they don't understand it, or they try to keep you stuck, keep you small, keep you limited, it's like, don't let them do that. Don't let other people influence your decision making this year, because you really need to trust yourself above all other people. Like you have to trust yourself through this process. I feel like the last thing I really want to say here is your root chakra. So maybe there is still some internal programming in your mind connected to scarcity. It's like, wow, if I'm going to take this big sort of like, leap of faith and I'm just going to trust. Or maybe some of you are also, you're moving some big money this year. So you could be thinking about buying a new home or investing your energy, time, money. But I'm feeling for sure a lot of you investing a lot of money or setting up something that will be bringing in a lot of money. And then you're going to be managing a lot of money, and you need to try to figure out how to, again, regulate your nervous system. Because when you, and like, trust me, I've gone through this. Like when I started actually like making a lot of money, like this place that you're looking at, like this literally cost me like over 400,000 euros. It's like, for me to be taking money in and sending out 40, 50, 60, $70,000 a month, like my nervous system was like, oh my God, like you're so fucking activated, especially if you grow up like me in like a family that got divorced, and then like I lived with my mom, and like my dad wouldn't be paying child support, and it was like this whole fucking thing, and I was like living in scarcity, and it's like it can be very fucking activating when all of a sudden you have all this money and it's coming in, but then you start investing it and like big chunks are going out. And of course, like I'm, blessed enough that like the money still comes in, but it's like, it doesn't matter how much money is coming in. If you for the first time are starting to manage other people and you're being called into a leadership role, it's like, that's challenging. That's activating your nervous system. If you are making money and now you're starting to pay other people's salaries or pay rent or pay, investing into construction or building your dream home or whatever. And it doesn't always need to be this like, $1 million project, but it's just like, if you, like, this is saying to me, this whole overall energy is like, don't be stupid with your investments. Like don't be stupid, but trust that if you get your system established properly, if you get your flow activated and things are moving and money starts coming and it's coming and it's coming and you feel comfortable and ready, and yes, you will feel a little bit scared, but like when you feel ready and comfortable to start investing, I would say it's like you're gonna be investing. Like I think for a lot of you, you will be. Maybe also there's other collaborations or connections, new projects that will be bringing in a lot of money, and a lot of you even when you're receiving a lot of money, there's a lot you need to do to make sure that you get that money. So maybe you need to set up an LLC or a different company, and all of the money goes into the company, and then you pay yourself from the company. Because if you take it personally, then the tax man is just gonna take what? 60% of it or whatever. So it's like, there's these different ways that you need to be establishing yourself. And I also feel like you wanna do it in a respectful, like legal, like proper way, because when you establish yourself in a way that is following the law, it is like appropriate and respectful for yourself and for all the other people. That means like whoever you're hiring, you're paying them proper salaries and everything's fair. When you establish yourself in that way, the universe sees everything is clean, everything is respectful, this is a good system, and we can bring in a lot more money. Like at this point in my life, I have like probably 26 people who work with me, and they're all under me getting paid, you know what I mean? So it's like, I have taken the time to establish myself in a way that is like respectful and legal and proper. And I have all of the people in place, and they're all paid properly and respectfully. And everyone here is like happy and smiling. And it's like, great, now we can move forward expanding, because we have opportunity to actually allow this system that we've established, and the universe can trust this system, and we can trust this system, and now we can open the doors and even more money can flow through. So it's like, that is what you are either going to be asked to establish this year, and maybe that's because next year you have a lot of expansion that comes. But either way, especially if you are a Gemini, or a Sagittarius, a Virgo, or a Pisces, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for expansion this year, because Jupiter will be moving into Gemini very soon in May. Well, the end of May, so around June. And like around June, Jupiter will stay in Gemini for a long time, and that is going to help us all. You don't need to be those 4 signs, Gemini, Pisces, Sag, or Virgo. You don't need to be one of those. But my point is, this will help all of us expand, because like Jupiter expands everything that he touches, and when he expands Gemini is connected to transactions and the market and money and new ideas and brainstorming. So like this group is really being asked to think outside of the box and to reinvent how you do things. I love that for you. I hope that this reading is really helpful. If it was, and you're interested in seeing what other things are happening for you through 2024, I would strongly suggest that you watch the 2024 tarot forecast. It includes a reading for your sun, moon, rising, Mars, Venus. There's a monthly overview, a yearly overview. There's oracle cards, numerology. There's so much information. It's all time-stamped. It's really helpful. It's like over 10 hours of tarot card readings. It's beautiful. We also have the astrology calendar if you're interested, or you can download the bundle, but I'll add the link below. Sorry, I need to stop because like my mind and my hands are not working together anymore. I'm starting to not be super clear. So I'm gonna stop here. I love you guys. I'll see you very soon. Yeah, ciao. Happy New Year.